Good morning, friends. This is David coming at you from Zone 5B in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And it is another nice warm day here in Minooka, Illinois. We are approaching the second week of August, but things are still really happening in the garden. So we have a ton of smaller cherry tomatoes growing. And again, this is just one of those kind of self-standing containers. I have a ton of bigger tomatoes. Just waiting for those to ripen up. And this tomato needs some attention, so I will prune off some of these sick branches. But we have a lot of tomatoes here. I believe these are the Quadro tomatoes. I have an okra there that is taller than me. My carrots are slowly coming along. And again, for those of you who have followed my single seed challenge update, that is the sucker that I transplanted just a couple weeks ago. So again, my seed that I started for the single seed challenge, nothing was happening with. It really didn't thrive. It was only a couple of inches tall. It was suffering. I got rid of it. I put that sucker in the exact same material, added a little amendment, and it is thriving. So if you have a seed that's not doing well, it could be the variety. It could be the conditions, but don't be afraid to try something else. On my table, I do have some of my herbs coming up. This is my lemon basil, or my lemon, not my lemon basil. This is my Thai basil. This is my lemon balm. I have celery that I grew from seed for the first time ever. Strawberries. There's my broccoli I still need to thin out. And then some of my lettuces are struggling a little in this hot weather. You can see my bok choy here that was decimated by the worms earlier in the year has regrown, but one of them has bolted and flowered. So it has been that kind of hot. The cool season crops don't like it very much. I have some peppers. I don't think they're going to get done in time before the season ends, but I wanted to give those a try. And over here in my tomato green stalk, you see my strawberries. My strawberries are throwing out a bunch of runners. And this is a great way to get free strawberry plants, right? Every one of these runners can be placed in dirt and it'll root, like this one here. And that's actually how I got this strawberry plant as well. This was a runner from my green stalk that I put into dirt and it rooted, like I did on this one up here. So it's kind of a way to self-perpetuate your strawberry plants if you've never grown them. Now, if you don't want to root your runners, it is best to cut them off because they do take energy from the parent plant. So don't leave them on. That is one of the parts of strawberry growing, is to thin and trim off all of those. I'm going to see what I need. I know I have a couple of lower containers that don't have anything growing in them. So I'm going to try to get some of those runners planted, but otherwise I will clip off the remaining ones. This is my lavender that I grow from seed. And let's go see how the garden is doing. So this week, with the warm weather continuing, we are getting a lot of tomato production. I have found that I have a huge problem with my girls, my chickens, jumping up and helping themselves to my tomatoes. It is one of my newer chickens. I didn't have a problem at all last year. Oh, you see this giant beefsteak in here. I can't wait for that one to turn red. Up here, some more of my get stuffed tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes I've been harvesting and using for a few weeks now. That honeycomb hybrid, I don't know if you can see them. Those orange ones, everybody who tries those, that's the best cherry tomatoes I've ever had. They're very sweet. They have low acid content. And honestly, it almost tastes more like a fruit, an actual fruit than a tomato. So even if you have somebody who might be picky and isn't crazy about tomatoes, that might be a way to go for them. And over here man, my cucumbers just continue to thrive. We do have some baby cucumbers coming out. The trick with cucumbers, especially if you don't prune it like I've done, I kind of let them grow wild, but the trick is Wrigley, go lay down. To dig through all the vines and to look for cucumbers. Because again, with a cucumber, if you let one grow to maturity and it starts to yellow on the vine, it will slow down production of the plant. So it is something, Wrigley, Riggs, go lay down. It is something you want to keep an eye on to keep that from happening. See, we do have another baby cucumber in here. So I've gotten so many cucumbers recently that I had to figure out what I wanted to do with them. Oh, that's another nice, the beauty of a cucumber right there. So tons of cucumbers. I'm very happy with the way it's been producing. My marigold's dead, so I'm going to have to pull that out here. I do have eggplants popping. Basil is growing like crazy. Forgive the neighbor's dog, who is going crazy. I'm going to have to get my spaghetti squash off because bugs did get to that squash plant and kill it. And my watermelon is still hanging in there. That is a personal sized watermelon. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. I do need to harvest all these peppers as well. But what I was saying is I had so many peppers. I had so many cucumbers that I needed to decide what I was going to do with all of them before they went bad. So this week, I decided to pickle for the first time ever. I did get a water bath canner set last year. I did end up canning 1 jar of tomato sauce last year with all of my Romas that I had grown. And I decided this year, I just pulled off the flowering tips of some of my basil to keep it growing. So I'm going to have a ton of basil that I need right or freeze as well. But I decided to, corn on the cob, try to pickle some of the cucumbers. Now, I'm not a big dill pickle fan. My younger son is. So I decided my first batch of pickles, sweet pickles. And I started the process last week. The process that I was following is a slower process. It involves pickling lime to help keep it crisp, but there are other things that you can use, and I did order some pickle crisper, which is supposed to be a little bit easier that you can use in the process. I did have pickling salts from last year. I ordered some pickling spices, and you can do a lot of this on your own if you have all the ingredients. You can make your own pickling spices. You can do an ice bath, apparently, to help keep them crisp. But I started that process, and I was very happy on Wednesday or Thursday to be able to jar up some pickles. I did some cucumber pickles, and I did some pepper pickles. And let me see. I have the jar here. My only complaint with my process, and those are some of the sweet pickles, or sweet peppers. Spicy peppers for sure. My only complaint with the process is I sliced them kind of thin. They turned out really, really good. The flavor is amazing. I will definitely, because I do have just a ton of produce that I've collected from the garden. I gave a bunch of it away. That is the next step, right? You start a garden. You almost always end up growing too many plants, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with all the fruit, all the vegetables, all the produce that you make. So look into that too. Look into that probably early. Don't wait like I did. Figure out what you're going to do with everything you grow in your garden. So today I am going to do some dill pickling. I started the process yesterday by soaking the cucumber slices to crisp them up. I'm going to get those in the brine for a few hours this morning. Hopefully by tonight I will have dill pickles in the jar in the fridge so my son can try them when he comes home from his mom's tomorrow. And yeah, kind of a laid back weekend. I didn't do anything in the garden yesterday. I was gone all day enjoying the weather, but the garden is still just humming right along. I'm going to get that squash plant pulled out of there. I might try to put in a cucumber plant and see if we have enough time here before the end of the growing season to get some more cucumbers growing. Cucumbers are probably my favorite thing to grow in the garden, and they're usually pretty quick. So if you get one that doesn't need that pollination, you can have a lot of success. So I'm seeing those cucumbers still grow, still get a lot of tomatoes. You saw my aroma version, my paste tomatoes ripening on the vine. If I can keep my chickens away from them, hopefully I'll be able to make some tomato sauce maybe sometime next month. So hope you guys are enjoying the weather. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Again, it's still not too late if you want to try to throw a cucumber in the ground or some of the faster plants, depending on what zone you're in and how much warm weather you have left. It's also a good time to start your lettuces, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, the cool weather crops, the carrots, radishes are always good. That are going to thrive as the temperatures start to cool off a little bit more here. So there's still a lot you can do. I'm also still planning for next year's garden. So I watched an MI Gardener video yesterday where he's talking about a bunch of new varieties that they are growing. If you want to see some of the new tomato varieties that have never been seen before that MI Gardener is going to sell, check out his most recent video. I'm going to order some of those varieties as well, just based on his descriptions. But you never know what you're going to get. A tomato is not a tomato like any other tomato. There's different varieties, different flavors. That honeycomb hybrid, the little orange cherry tomatoes that I showed you guys are so amazing and completely different than the red cherry tomatoes that I've also been growing. So get out there, check out different varieties, start planning your garden for the fall or for next spring even. Get prepared. This week I ordered larger pots so I could up-pot those trees on the side of the yard to hopefully encourage them to grow. I will also be pruning them in the next couple of weeks for growth, and I'll post a video on that so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll let you guys follow along with every single step that I do. Hopefully it encourages you guys to get out there, grow something, order something to grow for next year. Just get your hands in the dirt and enjoy the process. So thank you guys for watching the video. If you like my content, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe for me. It helps my algorithms. Share the video. Tell your friends about it. Help the channel grow. And thank you guys for joining. Remember to grow a little every day and never stop growing. I hope to see you guys all back here again really soon on Come Grow with David A. Have a good week. I'll see you guys later.